Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And recently I've had a lot of requests for two different videos. The first is a tech suit tier list for 2024. The second is a Mizuno GX Sonic 6 CR review. And today, to celebrate 6 years from my first review where I looked at the Mizuno GX Sonic 3 ST, I'm going to do a weird hybrid of them two requests, because I'm going to make a tier list of all the Mizuno GX Sonic suits I have tried over the last 6 years, which is a whopping 13 different suits. These suits are incredible. Mizuno make the best men's jammers, and you're going to see them on a lot of the top athletes over the next couple of weeks at the Paris Olympics, which I hope you're super excited for. If you are, let me know which race you're most excited to watch. Personally, it will be the women's 400 IM or the women's 100 freestyle because of Nastia Gorbenko and Siobhan Jorge, who I've helped in the coaching journey of over the last few years. Beyond that, as a fan, it will be for the men's 100 fly. It's the most stacked race of all the events, and of course, someone who's very special to me, Chad Leclos, is taking part in that event, and I wish him all the best in his swimming. But for now, we're going to turn our attention to all the Mizuno Tech suits, as I'm going to rank them from the very first category, the S category, which I've called Perfection, all the way down to Great Value, because even the lowest tier when it comes to Mizuno Tech suits is still brilliant, because they make the very best. There's a reason that they caused me to start this channel, and there's a reason that everyone who tries them absolutely loves them. And right now, the Mizuno range with the GX Sonic 6 is the most complete that they've ever had. It has a sprint suit all the way to a distance suit, and there is a suit for literally every single swimmer in the world. So without further ado, we're going to turn our attention to these 13 suits. And we're starting off with the two budget models that I have tried, the MX Sonic models. And the first, this one here with the orange crotch, is the MX Sonic 02. And it's a really good suit. It's a suit, I actually still have my 200 meter freestyle PB of 155 was set in this suit at a time trial back when I was in Amman. And I think that says enough. This suit lasts incredibly long. It has the same materials as at the time the Mizuno GX Sonic, God, it's like a mouthful. It had the same materials at the time as the GX Sonic 3, just with different water repellency and stitch seams, and it didn't have like the same taping. It's a great value suit, and nowadays you can get it so cheaply that it's just an incredible pickup. And I think the Alpha 2, it's not as different as maybe 3 generations of Mizuno MX Sonics would, sort of suggest. I thought maybe it would be a whole tier above. It's probably not. It's still a great value tech suit. And then we go straight on. We're going to go from 3 all the way to the 6 to the 3ST. And for me, I mean, it truly is perfection. It really is. I mean, like, actually, in my head going into this video, I wasn't going to put this in perfection. I was going to put it in the second tier. But for me, it was the 3ST that was the most perfect suit I ever wore. It was the first time I put on a jammer, post 2009, a jammer, not a full body suit. And I was like, oh my God, this suit blows my mind. I dropped PBs every time I wore it for like the first 10 swims by considerable margins. And it was the only suit at the time that was a country mile from any other offering. Back in 2017, 2016, when this came out, there was no Speedo, Arena, Jacket, no other brand tier that could come even close to this suit. This was light years apart, and still, in my opinion, it might not have the longevity of the 5s and the 6s, but in terms of sheer performance on them first couple of wears, this is perfection. And the only suit that people would argue is better is the 3MR. And that's the one I was actually, when I put perfection, I was actually thinking of putting in just a soul in that tier is the 3MR. And the reason the 3MR is so different to all the other Mizuno models that come forwards, with the 3ST, we kind of followed that same theme with the other STs, the 4ST, the 5ST and the 6MV. They just changed the taping from the twin parallel hamstring taping to the cross taping. But with the 3MR, it was everything changed from then on out. The 3MR actually had more dual layering than the 3ST had, with weird taping that come down the hips and nothing on the hamstring. From then going forwards, the 4MR and the 5MR, they actually had less dual layering instead of more dual layering than the ST, which led to less compression and it still had the cross taping on the back. So the 3MR, unlike the other MRs, didn't have any hamstring taping. It had hip taping down the sides of your legs, and it had the most compression of any Mizuno ever, as well as the most buoyancy. And that's why it is the perfect tech suit. And I think that moves nicely into a little segue in today's channel sponsor, which is Buyee. And Buyee has been like such an easy sponsor for me, and I've had a relationship now probably a year with Buyee, and I personally use Buyee all the time for my own personal addiction of buying Pokemon cards, because it's a proxy or a drop shipping service from Japan, which means it allows you to go onto a massive array of different Japanese stores and purchase whatever you might want from Japan very cheaply, because Japan is so cheap. And right now the Japanese yen, unfortunately for Japanese people, is very weak. For Brits and Americans, it means everything is even cheaper. And you can go to an array of stores. So I've already got a few Buyee websites or tabs open, and this tab is on Yahoo Japan auction. And as you can see, I've just searched Mizuno GX Sonic, something pretty simple. It's a pretty simple search, and we've got a lot of knee skins on offer. Here we have a 3MR in a junior size for £28 with no bids, with 22 hours remaining. But I didn't know what was going to be on there. This is a bit for a video, and right at the top of the list is this Mizuno GX Sonic 3 MR. I know it's an MR because it's the red and black. The ST3 had all red, and I love that suit. And not only it's used, but it looks in incredible condition. And this Renaissance gold foil logo just makes this even cooler. I mean, like, there's a lot of close-ups you can see of this. I mean, like, that's a little bit of dirt. This looks incredible condition. And right now, it's a medium. I was a medium in the 3s. I'm a large in the latest designs of Mizuno. But there's 6 bids on it now. It's at £8.65. I don't think if I'll wear this. I'll probably donate it to my teammate Reg, who loved this suit more than anything. But I'll put 3,500 Japanese yen on, which is £20.18. So that's what I'm going to bid on this suit. I don't have one of these anymore. I had one years ago. I actually gave it to one of my swimmers at the time after lots of wear with it. There's a choice of options when you bid with anything on Buyee, and I like to use a standard plan because it just means that if the seller doesn't ship the right thing to Buyee, they will send it back and you won't be out of any money. It's £2.50, 500 yen is £2.50 or about $3, and there's a service fee of 300 yen, which is again £1.50. So overall, I'm bidding £20 on this suit, and that's going to be an estimation of £24. Once all in, I press complete. The bid will be placed. There's like an hour left this listing, so hopefully I win the bid. If I do, I can make a follow-up video of this where I show you me getting this suit. But basically, the seller, if I win this, will then ship it to the Buyee warehouse, where they will basically check everything's okay, and then you can consolidate it. So if, say I bought some more stuff, so I've just gone onto Yahoo Japan shopping, which this is brand new stuff now, it's not used suits. So just to clarify some of the crazy stuff that I can get. So first of all, I'm not going to make that many tabs. I don't really need to at this point. I want to make 3 tabs. So the first thing is the Mizuno GX Sonic 6MV. We're going to put that on the tier list later. £145. Insane. Does it have all sizes? All sizes in stock, including my large. All right, there you go. £145. And if you use, sorry, I don't even mention this, I have a 10% discount in the description. Click on the description, make an account with the link, 10% discount, which would make this £130 for a freaking Mizuno GX Sonic 6 brand new. This is a junior size of the Mizuno GX Sonic 4 MR. Junior size, so it's only the smaller sizes, extra small, 2XS and 130. 130 is the smallest size. £56 with my 10% off discount, £50. Oh my god! So if you're watching with younger kids, or your extra small is probably someone up to like 13 years old, there you go. Buy yourself a Mizuno for £50. And lastly, the new colorways. I've not tried these. This is a GX Sonic 6 in the new colorway. The new colorway is a bit more expensive at £181, which would be £165 with my discount code. There we go. That's the sort of thing you can get from Buyee. And if you bought more than one item, they'd all get shipped separately. So maybe I bought this GX Sonic 6 in the new colorway, and I bought that 3MR. They'd get shipped to the Buyee factory. I'd then consolidate the package. So instead of me paying the shipment to the UK separately, I'd put them in one package, then they would ship together and I would have to pay a shipping fee. It's about £20 to ship a tech suit from, so if I bought 3 or 4, the shipping fee would be like £5 a suit, and the price is so cheap. And you can select what you want it to be shipped as, so I always select gift. If you select gift, it will ship as a gift, and therefore you won't get destroyed by customs. I personally recommend using FedEx to ship as well. Anyway, that's Buyee. let's hope I win that Mizuno GX Sonic 3, hey, for £25. I can't believe I'm saying it. It looked in good condition as well. But back to the tier list, the reason you're here, and 4MR next up. I liked the 4s the least. The 3 was so good, and the 4 didn't live up to the 3, and it didn't have the longevity and the sturdiness of the 5s. And I think it was the worst design suit. I loved the 3s. The 3s looked amazing with that iconic 2017 blue and white, like royal one that I'm shaking around here. And I just loved the red ones. Oh, they were so good. And the 4s, the 4MR, I actually liked it the least. I'm gonna say it was so much worse than the 3MR, even though it was its own thing. It was the first one that was like not super compressive, but at the same time it was still too compressive for like a 4IM in my opinion. So still good, just not as good. And the 4ST was a little bit better. I'd say it's brilliant. I mean, it was still a great suit. I smashed PBs in this suit. I think all my lifetime best long course are still in a 4ST. So I'm not critical. If I'm being very critical. And then we have the 5MR, which I think was a nice refinement on the 4MR. So I'll say it was brilliant, because it was. It was just, the 5 really elevated the 4 in terms of longevity. It had better water repellency treatment, better hydrophobia, sturdier seams. It just lasted a lot longer, and come with slightly better designs. It had that black one that you can see here with like the grey kind of camo background. This one was like a USA edition, really cool. Just had the red on it, which made it so much cooler than the 4s. And it had an all black one. I didn't like the all black one. The 5ST was also brilliant. I'm not going to call it the best of the best because it wasn't, and it isn't. I still wouldn't recommend this one at all in today's market unless you've got like a super good deal on it. And one of the biggest problems I had was that the American and Japanese sizings weren't the same. And they still both used medium large, whereas now American sizes are in numerical and Japanese sizes are alphabetical, so you know you're getting a different thing. So I went for a medium in the 5ST American, and it was too small. And it was too small. I wore it for a British Olympic Trials 2021, and I just didn't like it at all. But it was too small. I ended up getting a large and liking it a lot more in the American sizes. So for that reason, brilliant. Just because that little bit of confusion. I just didn't like that all black one either. I just didn't. And then we've got 2 other models. These are the GX Sonic Neo line. So we have the AG, which is a distance suit, and it's still good, just not as good. But it was the first distance suit Mizuno done, but it's not their best distance suit on the market right now, so it's in that category. The SL, people loved the SL. The SL was like the next model after the 3MR that people really connected with, and it's weird because it's a lot thinner. It's not so much dual layering, not so much compression, but it just hit the right compression, the way that the Ribtex material at the back comes around to the front on the hips. People really like this, and it's a great suit. And now we're into the last 3, which are the Mizuno GX Sonic 6 lines. And we've got this ET model, which has a very similar, you can see it has that compression around the side like the SL, but for the most part it was very similar to the AG. It was like a 90% AG, 10% SL in my opinion. It's a brilliant suit, and it's like a distance suit very much. It goes on super easy, like 5 seconds. It's nothing like a Mizuno, and this is what Mizuno have done so crazily. They have, I could waffle about all these suits so much, but if you got a 3 ST or MR, that thing took you 30 minutes the first time to put on, blew your mind, ripped your knuckles, and put a lot of people off in Mizuno. Whereas if you get an AG or an ET, I mean, I'm talking, I can put that on in 30 seconds. The AG is my most worn suit. I wore it like every session for training last season. And the ET can do the same thing. But the AG I don't feel like massive boost. It's just comfy and like a bare minimum tech suit. The ET, I'm like, damn, that's fast. Like, it actually like surprises me a little bit every time I wear it. And for that reason, I think it's a brilliant tech suit. I'm not surprised Carson wears that for the 4am, to be honest. And then we get to the 6MV, and that's the best of the best. That's my go-to recommendation for a sprint tech suit right now. It's very similar to the 5ST, it's just better. Comes in better designs, fits better, better water repellency, better hydrophobia. Just like the taping is just absolutely nuts. It's like an X on an X. God, the taping's ridiculous. This suit is crazy. I'm tempted to put it up to perfection actually, but it's the best of the best. The threes can stay in perfection, but man, this suit's great. And the CR is like, again, it's like similar market space as the SL, but slightly different. And people ask me a lot, do I prefer the SL or the 6CR? That's why a lot of people want the CR reviewed. And I don't know what I prefer. They're both great. They're both like this suit that could be recommended for absolutely anyone. I'm going to put the 6CR slightly ahead. This is a suit that is the easiest recommendation I've ever had. It's buoyant, snappy, single taping down the back, rib text the whole way around. It's comfortable, goes on easily. It's just a freaking winner. I mean, Mizuno make winners. Mizuno are a winning brand. They make winning suits for men in terms of the jam. And I've heard the women's suits are getting better now, but the women's suits haven't been as popular in the past, especially with Western women, as the men's suits have. But all these suits are winners. The MX Sonic models are such good value, you should check them out. The threes, if you can get hold of them, and maybe check out Buyee on the auctions to get some Mizuno suits. Cheap, winners. The 6 range, all winners. And everything in between. And this is my Mizuno Tech suit. I one day would like to get my hand. I might go and buy until I can pick up a 1 or a 2. Or even the FX Sonic model. I felt it in my hand, though it feels like the old FS1. Actually, I'm not going to get an FX Sonic ever. But this is me nerding out about 30 Mizuno Tech suits. Thanks to Buyee for sponsoring this channel and for providing you a service, which means you can get Mizunos on the cheap. If you select gift and use FedEx to ship, you will not, I have not personally got customs duties. I can't promise that will be the same for you because it depends how much the item is. But man, 10% off Mizuno suits via Buyee. My Mizuno Tech suit review. I will do a full 2024 tech suit tier list at one point, and I will do a full review of the Mizuno GX Sonic 6 CR. I'm going to have so much Paris content on this channel over the coming weeks, including a live show with Brett Hawke later today, although this will probably go out later than that live show was live, so oh well. But please do subscribe, hit the like button, check out my website if you want to support what I do by buying merch, online training programs, which are world class, I must add. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.